Welcome to Flawless Game Movies. My name is Mystify, and in this episode we are going to kill Maghda. At least that's what we are going to try. I've set up my TP right back to Alcaraz so we can continue where we left off last episode. But as usual, I'm going to start with skimming through my equipment. Not much has changed. The two legendaries we identified in the beginning of last episode are still there. So let's go through it a little bit fast. Skill wise, there has changed a little bit. The biggest change is the Blessed Hammer skill with a Thunderstruck rune attached to it. I'm really excited to try this and we'll see if it works. The other change is this skill, Judgment, instead of Shield Glare. And these are the only two skills I've changed because the other skills are working, and just want to test if these individual skills are good enough. And I don't want to try and change all that much in one bit. So we'll see if things work out. The Thunderstruck rune, as you guys can see now, should provide damage in the area of the circling hammers, which was one of my issues with the skill, that you could miss with the hammers and they weren't particularly useful against little groups of enemies, but the problem should be solved now. So we'll see. And Judgment is the other skill I'm going to try out. As I said, I don't want to try too many new skills at once, because then some might not work and I can't compare them to the other build I had. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So we're hunting for the coven leader by the name of Maghda, and we're quite close at this point, so we are going to face her in this episode, and I'm pretty sure we will kill her. Something I realized I forgot in the last episode, and I also didn't do it this episode, is changing the difficulty. So that's something I'm going to do next episode, because I want to up the challenge a little bit. We'll pick that up if we're coming back. And there she is, Maghda. I'm missing her with my blast hammers, so that's not really smart. So we'll see how fast we can kill her. It's not a end boss of the act, so it should be a little bit faster than the butcher. And there I missed my falling sword. And now come her minions. And we're still going to focus on Maghda because they're transferring or transforming to unholy thralls, so they will come to us when they did that, and then my blast hammer skill should be able to deal with them all. And that what's happening here. Now I need to dodge a little bit. And apparently Maghda thinks it's funny by getting hammered by us, because she's still laughing. But in the meanwhile, she's almost half that. So let's put our mace, our flail, into her face. We need to watch out for these frozen, so we don't become a popsicle. And just can get beaten by these frozen berserkers. So let's get the frozen berserkers out of the way and watch out. Yes. And Maghda is acting like a nice witch and comes to us for the beating. What I liked about the Thunderstruck rune is something I didn't realize before, is that if we move, the bolts of lightning are still in between us and the hammers, so we can actually hit enemies we couldn't otherwise if we just move around, as long as the hammers are being flung at the position. And if I see how this battle is going, we shouldn't have a difficult time by beating her in the end. And there she goes. Wasn't a hard fight at all. Quite disappointing actually, but what can you do? At least now we know the skills work. So let's continue and see if we can find some tougher enemies. And in the meanwhile, let's get the extra experience of the books, the lore books. These vessels, they aren't particularly strong either.
Once we eliminate her and her allies, this obnoxious little world will fall to me, and perhaps you.
What I like about this second act is that it is much lighter than the first act, which is dark all the way. And of course you have some cellars and some sewers and some extra areas in which things are a little bit darker, but overall there's a little bit more variation in the act, which I like a little bit more than the first act. Not exploring these cellars. It's something I'm going to do in the end game stuff. Exploring a little bit more. Let's see to the map where we should go. And what I didn't realize is that we just need to go back to Chaldeum. For some stupid reason I was thinking we had to walk back a little bit, but of course we can just use the town portal.
And that it has captured Leah.
Then they must be holding the Emperor against his will. I tremble to think what Belial might do with Leah and her growing power. The only chance we have to rescue Leah is to wrest the Emperor from the grasp of the Imperial Guard.
The Shearer of the Iron Wolves can get us to the Emperor. I will speak with her.
I'm still showing these dialogues, although the storyline of Diablo 3 is paper thin. It isn't a very strong story, in my opinion at least. But for the ones that are interested in things and haven't played Diablo, I'm still showing it.
Something must be done to aid these people.
Ashira, the Emperor and my friend are in grave danger. I must gain entry into the palace.
I heard what you did at Qasim Outpost in Alcarnus. You have my thanks, and you shall have my help. Captain Ravan, this man has vital information regarding the massacre in the borderlands. We must see the Emperor at once.
Very well, but I don't think you'll find him receptive. Let them pass!
Let's show us the Emperor.
Let's go. I'll lead you to the palace.
And immediately we have these deceivers. which we hammer down without any, or with ease, I have to say.
Get out of here.
So we
I will cover your
are
escape.
trying to flee from the palace.
Get to the sewers. I'll explain why when we get there.
And plan our next move against Belial. And this is exactly why I'm going to up the difficulty in the beginning of next episode, because it's ridiculous how easily we hammer down these serpents. If I'm using the blast hammer skill too much, it's because I'm falling in love a little bit with the skill. It's also with the history of the hammered in, that's why it has my favor. But I will promise that the other skills I will try them as well, and I give them a fair chance. Because I've looked up some builds players use on the PC, and I see that Hammered In isn't really popular. So apparently other players think that for the high level end game other builds are more useful. So we are going to definitely try them out. But for now I'm sticking with my Hammered In. Maybe next episode we'll try something else, or we'll see. The only thing that's for certain is that in the next episode I will up the increase the difficulty.
We will find her.
And this is with the change of scenery within the act. It's a little bit more in this act, then it happens a little bit more in this act than in Act 1.
Remember that your mother may not be
So
the person you imagine.
it's something I appreciate. Let's get these diseased bodies, this pile of crap out of the way. Of course, poisonous gas is released by them, by the bowels of the diseased bodies. But it's something I'm used to. My roommate has sometimes the same problem, even though he isn't diseased, he releases poisonous gas all day long. And again, with these serpents, they keep following us, although we are just hammering in their faces, and they keep coming back for more. Because if 16 of us couldn't kill them, 16 of them couldn't kill us in the Emperor's room, then of course 3 of them in the sewers will have a much bigger chance. I'm guessing these enemies, these stinging swarms, I'm not sure what the minions, of course it's a jailer minion, they have a little bit more chance of killing us. Need to watch out a little bit, but although the jailer ability is annoying, it isn't hurting us all that much at this point.
He taught them to channel the power of light in the same way.
There he goes.
But these recruits, these Crusaders, were given insight into the primal powers of Zakarum.
Of course, keep opening these chests, because that's the OCD you develop during Diablo. Keep getting more loot, finding better weapons and other pieces of equipment. We find a new rare flail. Maybe it's a little bit better than what we have currently equipped.
I like to think the world is safer now.
Adria should be up here.
And there she is. So let's save her from the Reaper of Pain. The yellow dyed or colored serpent with teleporter abilities. And you have some area of effect, which we do as well. Using the provoke ability a little bit more effective now. I'm getting used to it a little bit more. And too bad the Goldie or legendary weapon is a plant, so I can't show you guys anything about that in the next episode. Not at least not the identifying process. So we find Adria. And we are going back to Galdeum to chit-chat a little bit about the origins. So we'll sit back and let you guys enjoy the dialogues.
I'm surprised Cain never told you why I left. He knew I was called to fight the Lords of Hell. And I knew he would keep you safe.
He's gone now.
Then it's fate that we have been reunited. Cain's work, your work, is my war.
According to the Herodric texts, only 2 evils remain. Belial is here in Chaldeum, and Azmodan has yet to reveal himself.
Nothing stops the crusade.
And there we go.
The
An
gods
extra
were asking
level.
for this Black Soul Stone. I remember reading about it in Uncle's journal, but it didn't seem important.
No, but it is. It is the key to defeating evil forever. It was created by the mage Zoltan Kuhl to trap demonic souls.
Yes, he was a renegade Herodrim, dismembered by his brethren before he could activate the Soul Stone. His head was sealed away in the Dulgar Oasis.
We must retrieve it, because if we're to use the Soul Stone to defeat Belial and Azmodan, Zoltan Kuhl must live again.
I do not like this. We can defeat Belial.
Murderer, torturer, monster. These were the titles bestowed upon Zoltan Kuhl by the Horadrim.
Okay, so we are going to try and find the head of Zoltan Kuhl.
Against nature, and sealed his broken corpse within a shadow realm. It seems they were afraid he might return.
It's okay, we can assemble his body back together and we can revive him. So he can help us activate the Black Soul Stone to trap Azmodan and Belial.
Down here, isn't it?
And there we go.
Listen to me. I cannot talk for long. Belial's guards are constantly watching me.
Emperor Hakan.
And there we have
Forgive me
Emperor
for my behavior
Hakan,
before. The
who is
gods
going
would
to
kill
help
me
us a
for
little
siding
bit.
with you, but I will help you now as I can. You must be headed to the Oasis. I can open this gate for you.
We're still into the sewers, but these are the enemies I find the hardest to defeat, the arcane enchanted ones. At least they're not hard to defeat, but they deal a large amount of damage if you don't watch out. And of course I'm also sometimes acting like a moron, so then these kind of enemies are quite strong and dangerous for a little Crusader. Still not really impressed with the Falling Sword ability. Maybe some runes change this, but at this point it's not really the skill for me. Come on, kill the diseased bodies, please. With these hammers it should be in no time. There we are. Trying to find the right way.
Burn in the light.
This is why I tried Judgment, see if it works. I really like the shield glare skill, but I need to give the other defensive a chance as well, and maybe even discover something I like a little bit more. I also like this splitting up of the smite ability, so we can hit more enemies at the same time.
Diablo was the youngest of the prime evils, but I found him the most dangerous, for his power over terror left him incapable of feeling fear. Though he had easily possessed and corrupted many humans, Diablo's essence was finally trapped in a soul stone and banished to the unfathomable abyss 20 years ago.
By the light, I've never seen a place like this.
And this is, we just arrived at one of the most beautiful design places in this game. At least that's what my opinion is. I really like this sort of oasis. Of course it is called an oasis, but
Help me, please! Someone help! I'm being
Quiet, or I will rip your
different fauna, flora. And if I look at the clock, I see we probably won't be able to finish this quest, so I'm going to explore the area a little bit, killing some guys, and then in the next episode we will continue at with the main story. But for now I'm just going to try and find some interesting things, maybe even an event or two. And check out what kind of enemies we have over here. I'm trying to gather them around me. You see the June Dervish over there. Its scythe.
3 centuries ago, a much smaller Chaldean depended upon small wells for its water. Then came the mysterious Diablo, offering Chaldeum an oasis of unparalleled splendor, located in an area previously thought to be desert, asking only that his name be permanently affixed to the land. Then he vanished into the wastes.
There we got the glow-in-the-dark Doomfish. Looking beautiful, but we need to kill him. And some fallen conjurer is also bugging us, so we try to hit them all at once with our area of effect skills. There they go. One dervish left. Let's try Fallen Sword. Again, a legendary, which looks like to be a plan. So again, no identification process happening in the beginning of next episode. Too bad for you guys, but what can I do? There we see a chest, so let's open the chest. See if someone gets angry, and apparently some fallen do get angry of us by opening the chest. But another chest. Not much interesting either out of this chest. Need to get to the conjurers because they keep reviving the fallen. Someone is calling for help, so let's check it out. Captive villager, so let's help him.
The Imperial Guards left me here to die, but you saved me. Thank you.
And that wasn't really too hard. He leaves us with a magical item, but also nothing of interest. So let's kill these guys. An enlightened shrine, which we don't have too much use in this episode anymore. So let's kill some peons, some fallen peons, so we at least get a little bit of use out of it.
Corpse's flesh writhes. Something is moving inside.
And there we see the exploding plants. So let's kill some last enemies, and then I think I'm going to return to Chaldean. So you guys saw a whole lot of lightning hammers. We killed Maghda and wandered around the oasis, and in the next episode we are going to try and find Zoltankul's head and the rest of his body probably as well, so we can activate the Black Soul Stone. So this was this episode. I hope you guys liked it a little bit, and if you do, please put a like or a comment in the comment section below. I hope to see you guys in the next episode, and see you then. Bye.